She literally is just a normal girl in high school who has no prior life training. You know, she wasn't a brownie scout. You know what I mean? She doesn't have any like little Girl Scout things or anything. She's just like I am. So pretty much when the first wave hits, when all this alien invasion stuff starts to become a reality for her, as an audience member, you're watching it, understanding it perfectly, because it's as if you were being thrown into this big kind of amalgamation of, earthquakes and tsunamis and, losing her family. And, it just feels really real. And that's what really made me want to play her. She felt close to me. It has so much heart and so much love and so much emotion in it. I mean, this girl ultimately is fighting for the life of her brother. She loses everyone around her, and it's a love story between family, and then it's a love story between her and this man. And it kind of becomes about life, you know what I mean? And how these kind of unseen beings are stripping away our humanity, which kind of, has certain, ties to speaking about, 2015 now and kind of what electronics do and how, everything affects us. So it's a lot more than just a sci-fi thriller. It has so many different sides to it that makes it, when you watch it, it makes it heart-wrenching and also exciting and, amazing. Jay Blakeson is honestly an amazing director. You never know because, he hasn't done a ton of really big movies, and I haven't either. Both of us kind of do the more independent films and the more quiet, intimate films. So both of us, it was kind of a big, new thing to have, 600 feet of woods built inside of a studio and explosions 7 stories high and crazy stuff like that. So he and I both have been able to work together so well in creating the character of Cassie and making her really real. It has something for every audience member. I think young boys will love it because there's a lot of action, there's a lot of cool stuff. I think young girls will love it because there's a lot of love. There's a lot of cute guys. There's a couple scenes where they have their shirts off. And then I think everyone will enjoy it because it's ultimately a family about life and love and a movie about family. And I think that's what is most important to remember, especially when people start to see the commercials and stuff for this movie, is that it's more than just your typical sci-fi. It's so different than anything you can imagine, and I just want people to see it for more than just the explosions, because it is so much more than a movie about explosions and aliens. Nick really just shines so much with the charming kind of, Ben Parrish thing, but he also had that depth to be able to play zombie, which is really hard, to play a character that lived through the plague, basically, and lost his entire family. It was a pretty heavy role to take on, and I think he did an amazing job. And he's like the sweetest guy ever. He's got a heart of gold. So we got really lucky and got some amazing people on this movie, along with amazing actors. He completely shined. When we saw him in the audition room, he was Evan. He walked in and immediately, even though he had his British accent and he was talking about like football and all this stuff, he was totally Evan, and he really embodied the character and kind of that Superman, almost like, always need to be good, always need to make the right decision, and that can become really annoying in characters, but he did an amazing job with making it so realistic and not making it like, oh, I'm just like the good guy. He gave it a lot of depth. Zach is awesome. It's so fun to work with young actors, you know what I mean? Because I've been acting since I was 5 years old, so whenever I see someone who's around that age on set, it kind of reminds me of myself, and so curious and so excited to see like cameras and lights and booms and like weird stuff, so he was always so great, and he really was Sam. He has the depth, which is strange in a little kid to be able to have that depth to go there as an actor. So I was really happy to work with him, and we had some awesome little scenes together, and he's a sweetie. I really enjoyed working with him. You know, he's a real, like, thespian. He's a real stage actor, and I respect him for so much of what he's done. So it was really awesome to see him play Colonel Vosh. I think he's the perfect Vosh. You know, he has that kind of, that strength, but also that weird, like, you have a weird want to, like, agree with him, and he feels like he's always right because he's very, like, commanding, you know what I mean, as Vosh. She's awesome. She really went there for Resnick, and it's a character that you can't not go there for, because if you don't, if you, like, judge Resnick as a character, you're never going to be able to do her. So she really just jumped in head first and, like, played Resnick.